So at the macro level, you cited the statistic, Lori, when you kicked us off, that 5 to 6 trillion US dollars in net value addition could be generated around the world if women entrepreneurs reached parity with men. So this comes from the Women's Economic Finance Initiative at the World Bank. And in that same sort of meta study they did, they cited that over half of working women in countries like the ones where IDE works view entrepreneurship as a path to economic empowerment. And that's because it allows women a way to access economic power through assets and income. Another often cited statistic is that women are more likely to invest in their children's health and education. And the idea there is that that not only sets up the next generation for success, but it increases the workforce of those countries. We did find this to be true through our own study of our clients' needs that we've mentioned. There was a strong desire expressed, particularly by women, and to invest in their future generations, and a lot of moments of pride they told us about their previous investments in their children. So another large-scale economic benefit that the WeFi group at the World Bank has touted is that women-led businesses also tend to employ more women. So this allows women to overcome this barrier we mentioned about finding jobs. We have, for example, in Bangladesh, had a project that was specifically focused on supporting women-led businesses and the women that they hired, in addition to the men, of course, but we did find that in general, more women were hired. And then innovations pioneered by women entrepreneurs also tend to target and benefit other women who we find are often poorly served by solutions that are designed by and for men, especially in the countries that we work in. Liz cited before IDE's work in sanitation. So we've had a lot of success in the sanitation sector, but half of the world uses toilets a little differently. So now we are piloting better solutions in the menstrual health space for safe and affordable products and disposal options to complement our previous sanitation work. So Liz was in Zambia last year. I know we'd both love to hear more about her experiences with the entrepreneurs that she met.
Thanks, Jen. Yeah, I'm happy to share more about that. I think as a backdrop, before I get into a story about two of the entrepreneurs I met, I just want to speak a little bit to the agriculture space, which in the research that we've read and our direct experience shows, we know that when women farmers are given the same access to agricultural inputs, tools, and finance resources as men, that their agricultural yields rise by 20 to 30% on average. We've actually seen even higher in our direct work. And as a result, at a macro level, that means that national agricultural production can rise by 4%. This is really important when we look at the backdrop of a growing global population and food security pressures. So if you don't mind, we have a couple photos of Alice and Salima, and I'll just share a little bit about their stories. So Salima, who is on the right, is a private sector extension agent who IDE worked with to help give additional training on agronomic practices and help to make connections between her business and national level distribution for fertilizers and seeds. So Salima started off, as a farmer, working with her husband, helping to grow more food, make more money for their family. And then with the training that she received from IDE, she actually opened her own agro input store. So she was able to not only sell seeds and fertilizers to women and men in her community to help increase their yields and produce more food, but to also give them additional training to share the knowledge that she had gained and help them to really make a bigger impact on their families. Now, Salima is a really enterprising and ambitious entrepreneur. I was super impressed hearing her story. She started off with that first small agro shop. Over time, she opened a second one. And when I visited her just last year, she had actually opened her third shop. So in her service, she went from serving about 50 farmers to now she serves over 5,000 farmers every agricultural season, which is quite an impact. And one of the farmers that she served is the woman on the left, Alice Zulu, who also kind of followed in Salima's footprints, footsteps, she decided to work with IDE, get some more additional agronomic training to become a private sector extension agent, or farm business advisor, as we refer to them. And Alice is now also serving and training women and men in her community to produce more food. She's helping with the aggregation of the inputs so that they can sell it at a much higher price in the market. And she's also running research trials on her farm with some of the universities within Zambia. So I think both Alice and Salima provide really clear examples that we want to see replicated, not only within IDE, but with others in this sector. Because when you make these investments in women entrepreneurs like Alice and Salima, the impacts are really profound, and they continue because it is a market-based approach. They are, I think, Lori, as you said at the beginning, system-minded change makers, and they are living proof that investing in women-led businesses delivers tremendous social benefits.